Hey everyone! I'd love to hear from you. What tool review would you like me to create an in-depth analysis video on? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and I will get started on making the most requested one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I upload trending tool insights.
Ever feel like you're just drowning in information? Wishing you could just get the complex stuff instantly.
Oh, absolutely. Like needing a shortcut.
Exactly. A shortcut to really understanding. And what if that shortcut wasn't just like a better search engine, but something that could actually do things with that info?
Something truly autonomous.
Yeah, you're getting at a real shift, right? Moving past AI that just answers us to AI that can take on complex jobs all by itself.
It's a big leap, moving towards AI agents that can operate independently.
And that leads us right into today's deep dive. Manus AI. It's an autonomous AI agent launched back in March 2025 by this Chinese startup, Butterfly Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for everyone listening, we know there's a lot of interest in these new AI techs and, how they actually work in the real world.
And Manus AI is definitely making waves. It's being called the world's first fully autonomous AI agent.
Fully autonomous. What does that even mean in practice?
Well, think about it. It's designed to handle complex multi-step projects, start to finish, without needing constant human input.
So things like research, coding, planning, automation.
Potentially, yes. All supposedly within its scope.
And it's not just hype, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw MIT Technology Review reported it did really well on the GAIA benchmark.
That's right, an 86.5% score, which is impressive. It definitely outperformed a lot of its peers on that test.
Okay, 86.5%. But what does that actually tell us? What's the GAIA benchmark?
Good question. GAIA is specifically designed to test how well AI assistants handle real-world tasks, things that are kind of ambiguous, open-ended goals.
The kind of stuff we deal with every day.
Exactly. So that score, it's not just a number. It suggests Manus AI can handle that fuzziness, problem solve, in ways that, well, traditional AI often can't. It's a different kind of capability.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. Let's really get into what makes Manus AI unique. What can it actually do?
How does it hold up in real situations?
Yeah, and what are the potential downsides, the risks? What should people know if they're thinking about this tech?
Makes sense. Maybe we should start with the basics. Like, what exactly is an autonomous AI agent? How is it different?
Good idea. Let's break that down. So the key thing, compared to, say, a standard chatbot or LLM, Manus is built to work independently.
Right. It doesn't need you holding its hand every step of the way.
You don't have to keep prompting it for the next little thing.
Precisely. Traditional AI often needs really specific step-by-step instructions. An autonomous agent, though, you give it a bigger goal, and it's supposed to figure out the steps itself.
And Manus AI, it's pretty new, isn't it?
Very new. Butterfly Effect, the startup, launched it March 6th, 2025. Their whole goal, what they said they wanted to do, was create AI that could genuinely operate on its own.
How'd they do that? What's the tech?
They use something called a multi-agent system architecture. It's built on top of large language models, but it's more complex.
Multi-agent. That sounds fancy. What does that mean, like, practically?
Think of it like a team of specialized AI models all working together on one job.
Okay, so not just one big brain.
No, exactly. It uses several different cutting-edge models, the sources mentioned, Anthropic's Claude 3.7, Sonnet, Alibaba's Quinn, things like that.
Right.
And it coordinates them, makes them work together through this unified framework. So each little agent might handle a different piece of the puzzle.
Okay, like having different experts collaborating. That makes sense. So what are the big features then? What makes it stand out?
Well, there are a few key things. The biggest one is probably that autonomous task execution we've been talking about.
Right, taking the goal and running with it.
Yeah. It interprets the goal, figures out a strategy, breaks it down into smaller tasks, and importantly, it can adapt its approach as it goes.
Can you give an example, like a real-world kind of thing?
Sure. Let's say you tell it, develop a marketing strategy for my new gadget. A regular AI might give you some ideas to start, but Manus AI could potentially go off and do the market research, see what competitors are doing, suggest campaigns across different platforms, maybe even draft a detailed action plan.
Wow, okay. All without me having to ask, okay, now what?
That's the idea. That's the autonomous part.
That's a huge difference.
What else? The multi-agent thing we mentioned is key. Using different models gives it flexibility. Then there's asynchronous operation.
Asynchronous. So it works in the background. I don't have to just sit there watching it.
Exactly. You give it the task, and it gets to work. You can go do other things. It's not like being stuck in a chat window waiting for replies.
Oh, that's huge. That sounds like a massive time saver.
Yeah.
How do you actually talk to it? Is it complicated?
No, it's got a natural language interface, so you just type in your requests in plain English, conversationally, like you'd talk to any chatbot, really.
So the complexity is hidden?
Pretty much. The user experience is meant to be simple.
Okay. And the last one you mentioned, external tool integration. Does it work with other software?
The sources say it likely can, yeah, that it can interact with other software and platforms, which would be really powerful.
But we don't know which tools yet.
Not specifically, no. That's definitely something to keep an eye on as it develops.
Okay, wow. It sounds incredibly capable. So if someone listening is thinking, okay, I want to try this out, how do they get access?
Right. Well, based on what we know, you'd start at the Manus AI website.
Makes sense?
Look for a button, probably says try Manus or something similar.
Easy enough. Then what?
You'll probably hit a page to join the waitlist. See, it used to be invite only.
Ah, okay.
But now they've opened it up a bit with this waitlist. So you fill in your details, submit the request.
And then just wait.
Well, you wait, but keep an eye on your email. You should get a verification code.
Right.
You use that code to log in, finish signing up, and once you're in, there should be a chat box ready for you to start giving it tasks.
So still a bit of a process, not wide open yet, but there's a way in. Do you have to pay right away?
Good news there. New users who get in off the waitlist apparently get 1,000 free credits.
1,000. That's quite a bit to play around with.
Yeah, it lets you properly test it out, see what it can do, figure out if it's actually useful for you before you spend anything.
And it sounds like people really want to try it. I saw something crazy about the invite codes.
Oh, yeah, that was wild. Back in the invite-only days, those codes were apparently being resold for, get this, up to nearly $14,000.
No way. $13,797, the source said, on China's Shanya marketplace.
Insane, right? It just shows the hype, the perceived value around this thing.
Wow. Okay, so putting the hype aside,
Yeah.
what can you actually do with it? What are some real-world uses?
The applications seem pretty wide-ranging, like travel planning. Instead of just giving you flight options, it could apparently generate a whole personalized travel handbook.
A handbook, like with schedules and recommendations.
Yeah, detailed itineraries, tips based on your interests, info about the place, way beyond a simple search.
Okay, that beats my usual frantic Googling the night before. What else?
For finance folks, stock market analysis. It could build these in-depth visual dashboards to track stocks or specific companies. In education, generating teaching materials. Like imagine needing to explain a complex physics concept. It could potentially create video-ready slides or notes.
Saving teachers a ton of prep time, I bet.
For sure. It's not just business stuff either. Supplier and market research finding the best vendors for your needs.
Okay.
Lead generation for sales teams, creating lists of potential B2B clients, maybe even formatted for a CRM already.
Useful.
Even comparing insurance policies, analyzing options based on your needs, and giving personalized recommendations.
That sounds tedious, so automating it would be great. Anything for tech people.
Yeah, code development and debugging. Apparently, it can help with coding tasks, even across projects with multiple files.
Okay, it sounds like a real digital Swiss Army knife. And you mentioned there's data on how much time it saves.
Yeah, some really compelling numbers based on user reports. Let's look at those.
Okay.
So that travel itinerary example traditionally might take someone, 2-3 hours?
At least, yeah.
Manus AI reportedly did it in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's like an 88% time saving. Cost about 290 credits, apparently.
Whoa. Okay, what about something more analytical, like that financial analysis?
Right, something that might normally take 3-4 hours, again, done in about 15 minutes with Manus AI.
That's even better, like 93% save. How many credits?
Around 320 for that one.
Okay.
Even website creation, maybe 5+ hours normally, down to 25 minutes with Manus, saving about 92% of the time. That used about 360 credits.
This is crazy. What about a big research report?
That took longer, naturally. Something that might take 6+ hours manually was done in 50 minutes. Still a huge saving, around 86%. But that one used more credits, about 900.
Those numbers are staggering. It's not just shaving off a few minutes. It's fundamentally changing the time required. So how did it actually do when they gave it specific jobs, like that digital intern test?
Right, they gave it real assignments. One was finding top journalists covering China tech.
Okay, how'd that go?
Initially, a bit messy. It gave 10 names, but the formatting was all over the place.
So not perfect straight away.
No. And interestingly, when they pointed it out, Manus explained it had rushed because it thought there was time pressure.
It explained why. That's weirdly human.
Isn't it? Gives you a peek into its internal logic, maybe. Anyway, after the feedback, it did better. Came back with 30 names, properly sourced, with their affiliations, work examples.
That's better.
Yeah. And it handled edits well, like changing job titles, and could export the list to Word or Excel.
So learn from the feedback. That's important. Any
yeah.
roadblocks?
Yes. It struggled with paywalls and CAPI-TCHAs, those prove your human thing.
Yeah, the bane of automation.
Exactly. So some manual help was needed there. The takeaway was, it's cooperative, learns, but web access isn't totally seamless yet.
Still early days, I guess. And it seems like a lot of people are getting involved, right? The community?
Oh, yeah. The official Discord server exploded. Over 170,000 members soon after launch. Huge interest.
Wow. Okay, so stepping back, pros and cons. What's the verdict so far?
All right, let's break it down. User experience. Pros are definitely the hands-off, goal-based approach. That's huge.
And the asynchronous thing running in the background.
Right. Plus, the interface is pretty user-friendly, like a chat app. Cons. It can get expensive fast. Those credits burn quickly. Tasks can sometimes be slow. And it's still beta, so expect bugs, maybe crashes, and the access is still limited.
Makes sense. What about technical performance?
Well, the pro is it can handle complex, multi-step stuff and learn from feedback, like the journalist example showed.
But the cons of those web access limits, paywalls, CPCCHs.
Exactly. And the speed can be inconsistent. For suitability, it seems best for research, analysis, creating structured content.
Less suited for things needing super smooth web interaction or real-time data, maybe.
That seems to be the case right now, yeah.
Okay. And back to that GAIA benchmark score, you said it was significant because it tests real-world skills.
Yes, exactly. GAIA looks for things like handling fuzzy goals, reasoning through multiple steps, remembering context, adapting. All the stuff a real assistant needs.
Not just following a simple script.
Right. So Manus AI scoring top marks across all difficulty levels there suggests it's got genuine flexibility, something more like general intelligence, not just rote execution.
That's a pretty strong endorsement of its core abilities. So if someone does get access and uses up their free credits, what are the actual subscription costs?
Okay. During the beta, they have 2 plans. Manus Starter.
Starter.
That's $39 a month, gives you 3,900 credits, and you can run up to 2 tasks at once. But no access to their high effort mode or other beta features.
3,900 credits.
Yeah.
How far does it go based on the examples? Maybe 4, 10 complex tasks?
Roughly, yeah. Depends heavily on the task complexity. Then there's Manus Pro.
Pro. That's pricier.
It is $199 a month. That gets you 19,900 credits, up to 5 concurrent tasks, access to high effort mode, beta features, dedicated resources, longer context, priority access. The work.
Whoa, okay. That's a big jump. $199 is serious money.
It definitely positions it more for heavy users, maybe businesses testing it out, rather than casual individual use right now. Those free credits are key for figuring out if it's worth it for you personally.
Definitely seems like a premium offering at this point. How does it stack up against other AI tools people might already know? The source mentioned a comparison with Genspark AI.
Yeah, it's useful to compare. So Manus AI, again, is pitched as that fully autonomous agent for complex start-to-finish projects. Genspark AI is described more as a mixture of agents.
A mixture of agents.
Meaning it integrates different models and tools, but seems more focused on tasks like search, summarizing information, helping with decisions, rather than full autonomy.
So different core functions.
Right. Architecturally, Manus uses those multiple LLMs and subagents working together. Genspark pulls in various model stools, maybe aiming for faster responses in its specific areas.
Okay, how about performance?
Manus nailed the GAI benchmark for complex tasks, but we heard it can be slow sometimes. Genspark is apparently known for being faster, especially for real-time info gathering.
Different strengths, then.
Exactly. Manus seems strong for deep business research, resume analysis, maybe building websites, creative stuff where autonomy helps. Genspark shines at quick summaries, travel planning help, pulling info together fast.
What about using them? The interface.
Manus has that chat UI plus the Manus's computer view to see what it's doing. Genspark has a cleaner, maybe more straightforward interface.
And accent.
Big difference there. Genspark is more accessible, even has a free tier. Manus is still in that invite waitlist beta with the premium pricing.
Web navigation.
Genspark is reportedly smoother there.
So the bottom line.
The source basically called Manus AI best for autonomous workflows. Genspark is maybe better if you need quick web info retrieval and summaries. Different tools for different jobs.
Makes sense. It's good to have options. What are actual users saying, though? Like on Reddit, you always get the real story there.
True. And yeah, the Reddit feedback is mixed. Definitely excitement. People see the potential, but also some skepticism. Some folks felt it was maybe a bit overhyped, found it less amazing in practice than they expected.
Okay.
But then others were really impressed, especially with the autonomy, like getting it to code actual web apps or MVP's minimum viable products.
So some real successes, but not everyone's blown away.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Common complaints are about the credit limits running out fast, tasks being slow sometimes, or maybe not finishing properly.
The beta phase blues.
Exactly. But there's clearly an active community digging into it, talking about backend integrations, trying real-time coding tests. People are definitely engaged and pushing its limits.
With any powerful tech like this, especially one that acts on its own, you've got to think about security, right? Compliance. What are the risks?
Absolutely crucial. Privacy is a big one. If you connect Manus AI to sensitive data, customer info, internal systems, there's a risk of exposing PII, personally identifiable information.
How could that happen?
Well, maybe through unencrypted storage or transmission, or if it logs sensitive prompts or outputs without proper care. You need things like strong encryption, anonymization where possible, turning off unnecessary logging.
Standard data hygiene, but extra important here.
Well, integration risks. Connecting it to your existing systems needs to be done carefully to avoid creating vulnerabilities.
Makes sense.
Then there's regulatory compliance, making sure it fits with data protection laws like GDPR or whatever applies. And finally, dependency risk. Relying too heavily on one tool, especially a new one, for critical stuff can be risky.
Good points. It's not just plug and play. You need to think through the implementation carefully. So if Manus isn't the right fit or someone's stuck on the wait list, what are some alternatives?
Plenty of other AI tools out there, often more specialized. For marketers and content teams, there's Jasper AI, known for marketing copy, brand voice stuff.
Okay.
Righttree is good for SEO-friendly content, blogs, social media. Writesonic is often seen as a budget-friendly option for similar tasks, plus AI chatbots.
Any others?
AnyWord focuses on predictive writing, using data to figure out what marketing copy will perform best. So yeah, different tools focus on different niches.
Good to know there's a whole ecosystem.
Okay.
So looking forward, what's the future for Manus AI? Where's it headed?
Well, given its unique autonomous approach and now opening up access more, it's definitely positioned to be important in the intelligent agent space.
If they can work out the kinks.
Exactly. You'd expect improvements in stability, task speed, And probably adjustments to the pricing to make it more accessible. That seems like common feedback.
Right.
If they can nail the credit system, make it more reliable, maybe offer better integrations with developer tools like IDEs or APIs.
And it can become really practical.
Yeah, it could move from this exciting beta to a genuinely indispensable tool for developers, researchers, solo creators, lots of people.
It definitely feels like it has that disruptive potential, changing how we tackle big, complex jobs. So let's wrap this up. Key takeaways from our deep dive on Manus AI.
I think the main things are, it's genuinely trying to be an autonomous agent doing multi-step tasks independently. That's the core idea.
It shows promise, right? That GAIA score, the user examples.
Definitely shows promise, impressive capabilities, but you have to balance that with the current reality.
Which is?
It's still beta. There are costs, potential stability issues, access limitations. It's not magic yet.
But the potential for automation, for handling complex stuff, that seems sky.
Absolutely. Even now, it gives a fascinating look at where AI might be going, how we might interact with it differently.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Considering how fast agents like Manus are developing, what kind of big shifts are coming, in how we work, how we use technology, it's definitely something to chew on. Maybe even check out some of those alternatives we mentioned.